Well, hey guys, and welcome again to Into the Night. Tonight I'm going to do a quick review on this new tripod gun clamp that is sent to me by Manbily. I think they make tripods and all sorts of other camera gear, but they sent this out to me to review. So let's unbox it and see what it looks like and see how it holds a gun. Let's get it open and see what's inside. Now we've got some user manual sort of thing, pretty basic function of the thing, bit of silica gel. That's all that's in there. This is the Manbily gun clamp. I do like that it has a fairly big tightening and loosening knob on the end. The thread is really nice and smooth, and it feels like well built, nice and solid little unit. Now on the bottom here they have like an Arca Swiss type plate on the bottom. That there has a 3/8, so you can mount that directly to your tripod if you wanted to, or you can use it on your ball head with the Arca Swiss plate. So yeah, well, let's get it onto we'll see how wide it opens first. Probably much wider than we really need, but there you go. It's pretty wide. It's probably 3.5 inches, and about that. And it closes up to about 1 inch. Or 25.4 millimeters if you want to talk metric. Yeah, so that's, my thumb's about 1 inch wide. So it just fits nicely in there. So yeah, anyway, let's get on the tripod and see how it goes. Now this is the Smart Rest ball head. So I'm just going to try mounting it on. I'll tip it over so you can sort of see what's going on. Now this is something you'll have to look at, because this isn't recessed in here. That's all flush. There's only a little recess there and there. And with this particular ball head, that little bolt head that holds it onto plate onto the ball, it's actually raised up higher. So this here, I can't get it onto that mount. So I'll change over to my inaugural ball head and see if it fits on it. Okay, so this is my inaugural. I think it's a 44mm ball in this one. So as you can see here, this Arca Swiss plate, or this clamp, the screw that holds that in is flush. So this one here, with these screws in here, they hit in this recess, and that's what it's intended for. So you put that in and clamp it up, and so it fits on this one. So I can't use it on the Smart Rest ball head, but I can use it on the Inara one. Just put my rifle in there, and that just tightens up onto there. Because it's got that lever on there, you can really tighten it up good and tight, and that's held in there nice and firm. It's not going anywhere. So you can just, there you go. And I can just look around with the thermal. Oh, well, look at that. There's a hare. He'll be in the house yard. He's lucky I don't have my gun's not loaded, because he's just sitting there at about 30 metres or so. That's a really nice clamp. Well, the clamp is only part of it, the tripod is the rest of it. Is the main thing that's holding it steady, but that clamp is holding the gun really, really firmly. There's no movement in there, and I can just keep it on his head. Now, I've had a few people ask me about clamps, and where should you mount them? See, for me, like, I feel more comfortable shooting with them back this way further, but I think the closer you get to the end of the further forward on the stock you're mounted, the more stable it is. So it's very, very stable, but it's mostly been the tripod. But the gun clamp is good to be able to you can let go of the gun and it just holds it and stops it rocking from side to side, and it just makes it probably makes it more rigid, so you get the full potential out of the tripod then. So I think it's a really good clamp, just as long as your tripod has your ball head that you're using has the screw that holds the mounting plate onto the ball is not sticking up in the way. This is the first Arca Swiss plate I've actually ever seen and ever used that isn't recessed. Most of them have a recess in there, but you probably could even attach a normal one on there if you really wanted to. But anyway, this is the one that comes on it. It fits on this ball head, so I'll use it on this ball head. Okay, so I'm just going to do a bit of a demonstration of how I use a tripod and a gun clamp at night, and we'll just sort of see how this one is, sort of how it performs as I use it, the same as I would use the Smart Rest gun clamp or any others. So usually I'll have a rifle over one shoulder, I have the tripod over the other. Sometimes I'll bring that leg in just so if I sort of got that hand free, it just sort of sits, balances on the top. That way all I've got to do is just move that out and bring it down, and the gun's there ready to go. And tighten the clamp up, and you're ready to shoot. Obviously the gun's safe, there's no magazine in, and the belt's out, so the gun goes over the shoulder, tripod on there, and away you walk. And I've usually got the scanner hanging down here. Sometimes I put it in my pocket if I can fit it in my pocket, and so I can walk around scanning with the scanner, and if I see something, just come walking up, tripod's out there carefully and quietly. Once you're sneaking up close, you've just got to go very slowly and carefully. And if it is dark, often what I do is I'll put the tripod here, and I'll get this, before I put it on, I put my hand here so I can sit it on my fingers, and I can just guide it carefully in and just go by feel, and then tighten it up, and you're ready to go. So you can let go of the gun, and it's all ready to go. So if I come along and I'm like, oh, looking in the scanner, there's something over there. Comes down carefully and tighten it up, and away you go, you're ready to shoot if the cap's open. So I'm just going to wrap up with my final thoughts on this Manbily gun clamp. I think overall it's a really good little unit. The only downside I can think of is, which is easily rectifiable, if you're using a rifle with a timber stock, something you don't want to get scratched, just be mindful that if your rocket that way, or up or down, these corners here, especially if you're shooting with it and you don't have your ball head tight enough and you end up moving it over and your rifle's going that way a bit, which generally doesn't happen, but it can. I have had it happen. If you forget to tighten your ball head up, just be aware that those corners there will probably scratch or dent the timber in your stock if you've got a timber stock. So they are sort of a little bit sharp, but you could always put a little bit of padding, a little bit of rubber in there anyway, and that would fix that issue. So it's easily rectifiable. It's not much of an issue. So other than that, or the only other thing is, just because there's no recess in that Arca Swiss mounting block underneath there, just be aware not all Arca Swiss plate mounts will mount to it, like the Smart Rest one I have been using, I tried to use. So just be aware of that too. Make sure there's nothing protruding, sticking up. So Manbily, if you are watching this, that's one thing you could take into consideration. Maybe you could recess that. So anyway, what I do like about it, it's a really good sturdy little clamp, well built, very smooth to work, and I do like that this big handle on here, and you tighten it up and you can leave it sort of flush. There's no big thing in the way there either. So that's another, it's not a big thing, but it's just something to consider when if you're trying to shoot. I'll come around this side. If you're trying to shoot, you can sort of sit your hand up directly underneath here and hang on to the top, and you haven't got a big wheel that's sort of hitting you in the hand there, making you hold lower or in front. So I quite like that that's not a big wheel. But so yeah, that opens up really nice and wide. I'd like the nice soft rubber pads in here, really good. So overall I think it's a really good clamp and I can really recommend it. It's just a great little sturdy little rest. So I'll leave some links in the description below. You can head over there and check them out. I think you can purchase them on Amazon. But yeah, go and have a look, and if you did like the video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and I'll leave the video at that, and I'll see you all in the next one.